Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 11th of September, comes to you from London. And the dollar had a strong rise over the last week, but just the last couple of days, a bit of a hiccup. We've seen a bit of a rise yesterday, but we're just seesawing a little around this short-term chart. Remembering this is my weekly, my daily, and my 60-minute long-term, medium-term, and short-term view with the corresponding point and figure charts and targets. So dollar is just holding up, and the euro is looking a stronger against that dollar. So euro strength is quite a key theme there. Sterling had quite a big fall this week, and was sitting below that 130 mark against the dollar. We see that collapse off there, and a big weekly down candle. Obviously Brexit news weighing quite heavily on the currency at the moment, and against the euro we're seeing similar falls there, so sterling looking weaker there too. Bitcoin sitting still at $10,000, so not much change there. Long term bullish, medium term holding on, but the price is starting to fall below the cloud, and short term we are bullish. The main thing of course has been the stock markets. We saw the S&P 500 index down a further 1.75% yesterday. Having tried to recover at the opening, it just really couldn't hold on, and so we saw a lot of movement there. And of course the key thing is, will we take out this lower low? We talked about that yesterday, and if we look at the Nasdaq, it was down 2% as well. Will we take out the lower low? So that's going to be quite key. It's probably not going to happen right away. If it happens, and we'll look at the futures in a minute, but next week we are going to be just on a little bit of nervous ground there. This bullish engulfing candle on the weekly chart does hang over us, and so we do need to, bearish engulfing candle. And if we look at the Dow, a similar picture of course. We did actually touch that floor yesterday on the Dow, so we are finding some support, but the key thing is, will that hold? Looking at the futures, we're seeing here the S&P futures due to open higher today, and the same with the Nasdaq E-mini, so up 1.2%. So it does look like we will see a bit stronger end to the week, but not enough really to change the fact that we've fallen quite heavily over the last week or so. The volatility is back below 30, so that is encouraging, and we're moving back to short-term bearish, which is of course bullish for stocks. So that is one encouraging fact. FTSE future is flat this morning. Quite good news out on the UK economy, but not changing much today. The DAX in Germany is up very slightly, and the CAC 40 also up slightly. Markets are still a bit nervous and just waiting on the sidelines for what's going to happen in the US today. We saw yesterday sentiment could change quite quickly. We were bearish in the run-up to the opening in the US, then we were bullish at the opening, and then we fell away towards the end of the session. Japan was up 0.7%. Hang Seng was up 1%, and China also up 0.8%. So we've seen Asia taking what's been going on pretty much in its stride. The Aussie market was lower, down 0.8%, so not looking so good there. Gold sitting at 1942. We are in short-term bullish territory, really waiting for this upside target to be activated. The charts are looking incredibly bullish for gold still, and silver also looking very strong as well. US 10-year yields pretty flat, and we see here it was a fairly mixed performance in tech stocks yesterday. Taking a look at the energy mix, Brent crude is sitting below $40 this morning. We have got a floor here of around $39.30. We've got this downside target of $30 if we activate that downside target with a move below this low. So that's going to be quite key. And we're also seeing here just a little bit of a mixed picture, but on the whole, we're in bearish mode. We're bearish below that short-term cloud, and the daily chart is, of course, falling away. Much the same picture on WTI. US nat gas falling back quite sharply, sitting at $2.31. This uptrend now starting to just look a little bit questionable, and we are seeing downside targets back to the low twos. So this long-term recovery is here, but we will see big pullbacks, and we've got targets into the 220s. So that's the short-term picture for today, at least. Coal down just under 0.6%, and so we are just seeing here again coal just struggling but holding on to that short-term bullish trend. Emissions, really it's very much between 25 euros and 30 euros, and at the moment it's trading the range. We've got upside targets to the top of the range, but when of course we break this 30 euro mark and hold it for a few days, that will be very bullish for emissions. And if we look at UK gas down just under 1% this morning, has broken into a short-term downtrend, and TTF also looking quite bearish there as well. Winter gas actually looking a little bit better, up 0.4%, and the long-term recovery is still in play, but we are seeing the short-term trend lower. So it looks like we're going to fall before we rise, and that's showing through on the 1 minute chart as well. Last of all, German power is actually up this morning. We're still bearish below the cloud here on the short-term chart, but for the moment the long-term recovery is still very much in train. Bit of a mixed picture, but we do have upside targets, so German power looking okay. Will be interesting to see what happens next week. Crude obviously dominating the energy mix. That's it for today. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday. Happy charting. See you then.